Speedway Report is a production of ZTV. Labor Day weekend brings out memories of races that are no longer with us. The Italian GP popped with a surprise winner and a real good show. And Darlington, South Carolina always puts on good racing, and it did not disappoint this weekend. We've got all this and more coming up. Welcome to Speedway Report for Monday, Labor Day, September 7th, 2020, from the shores of Lake Norman in Race City, USA, Mooresville, North Carolina. I'm Patrick Reynolds, and thank you for joining the fastest half hour in racing. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are back up and running, and all our archives right here are on Facebook Live. What am I doing here on a Monday afternoon, or year after year we've been on Monday evenings live? Well, I am traveling to Boone, Iowa this week for the IMCA Super Nationals. As we do this show live on Monday, they actually began with a prelude on Saturday night to get everybody warmed up, and it is a week-long race. I will be in Iowa tomorrow, and just need a little extra time to get going out of state. Boone Super Nationals has been a bucket list race for me for many years. Everybody that I know in the short track world, this is a race you got to go see. Week-long event. I am excited. We're going to check the boxes this week. So here we are Monday afternoon. If you're watching us live, a little matinee, a little popcorn. Thanks for joining us. Good to see everybody. Let's head up our Speedway Report Victory Lane lap and tell you who won what over the Labor Day weekend. It is so good to have a little more and more results to tell you guys about. NASCAR Cup Series was in Darlington, South Carolina last night for the Southern 500, which was won by Kevin Harvick. The Xfinity Series was at Darlington over the weekend. Brandon Jones won a dandy of a race there, and Ben Rhodes won the NASCAR Truck Series race in Darlington. NASCAR's Wayland Modified Tour was in action back last Wednesday in Thompson, Connecticut. Ronnie Silk took the 150-lap win on the 5/8 mile oval. Heartbreak for Ryan Preece as he ran out of fuel with what he says is a full fuel cell with 3 laps to go in the 150. Formula One was at Monza, Italy over the weekend. Pierre Gasly wins his first career Formula One race. Who doesn't love a first-time winner? We'll talk a little bit more about this one shortly. U.S. Nationals for the NHRA are underway in Indianapolis. Their Indy 500, their Daytona 500. It's great that this race got in at all. Top fuel was taken by Sean Langdon, Jack Beckman in Funny Car, Erica Enders. We've had her on the show several times, won the Pro Stock ladder, and Scotty Polachek sat in the winner's circle for Pro Stock Motorcycle. Lucas Oil Late Models had a busy weekend. They raced Friday night in Junction City, Kentucky. Jonathan Davenport was your winner. And on Saturday night in Portsmouth, Ohio, one of the, anchor tracks to the Lucas Oil Late Model Series, a tent pole, so to speak. Anyway, Hudson O'Neill, son of the real deal Don, was your A-main winner on Saturday night. World of Outlaw Late Models were down in my neck of the woods in Livonia, Georgia on Friday night. That race was won by Brandon Overton, and he loved it so nicely. Lancaster, South Carolina on Saturday night, he got out the broom, wound up in Victory Lane once again. World of Outlaw Sprint Cars were in Brandon, South Dakota, and Sheldon Hodenschild won first part of a doubleheader on Friday, and Kyle Larson was your winner on Saturday. I was thinking, how far back do I have to go before I read one of these Victory Lane laps without a Kyle Larson sighting? He sat in Victory Lane here somewhere, somehow. Kyle Larson has been on this report for weeks, months at a clip, or he has won at least one race over the weekend, then I got to call out his name. The ARCA Series race in Lebanon, Missouri on Saturday night, and Sam Mayer was your winner there. USAC Midgets took on the High Banks of Sweet Springs, Missouri. And on Friday night, Cannon McIntosh won the A-Main, and Buddy Kofoid was your winner on Saturday night. The small block modifieds were in action Saturday night at Grandview, Pennsylvania. Kevin Herthler was the feature winner there for the mods. And a couple of big races. The Labor Day Classic is going on right now at Port Royal, Pennsylvania. So if you are watching us live or anywhere in the neighborhood, head on over to Port Royal Speedway. Enjoy the fair and enjoy the Monday afternoon Labor Day Classic. Saturday night in Anderson, Indiana, the postponed Little 500 was held. Always a Memorial Day weekend May race that accompanies the Indianapolis 500. Because of COVID-19 and everything we've faced all year, they put it to Labor Day weekend and Saturday night. Bobby Santos III was your winner. He's runner-up. He's finished second. He was a runner-up in this race several times. Finally gets to spray the champagne in victory lane. I used to watch Bobby's grandfather race when I was a little kid. Does that make me old or just more experienced in the world of motorsports? Let's talk about the racing over the weekend. It was good. It was good racing. The Xfinity race Saturday at Darlington was a dynamite race. Actually, the racing, what we're looking for is side-by-side passing, bumper-to-bumper, trading paint, slide jobs, all that good stuff. We had a great battle for the lead late in the race, dueling out this last 10-lap shootout before Ross Chastain and Denny Hamlin tangled. It kind of split the seas, split the Red Sea, so to speak, for Brandon Jones to get through on his way to victory lane. We had a similar incident. Martin Truex Jr. and Chase Elliott tangled late in the race for the Southern 500 Sunday night. But this track, as historic as it is, not these newfangled ones, but the older, the history, the worn-out pavement, just a great racing. Always is. At this track, always seems to will be. Is that a proper grammar sentence? I don't know, but it just seems like it has provided great racing, race after race. We're talking decade after decade. Darlington, a historic event. Shame no fans were in the stands. I understand that's where we are, so it's great to have the Southern 500 happening at all. But this track, Darlington, if anybody asks you, geez, what's a good track on the Cup Tour to go see a race, hopefully in 2021, my number one pick is usually Martinsville. The racing there, the closeness, the length of the race, the length of the track, I think that's the best track on the tour. But Darlington, right up there as far as just quality racing. And we all know about this sand-blasted surface, it just eats tires away. Any track that's a tire eater, well, the car owners don't like it with the cost of new tires all the time, but the fans love it because it provides excellent racing. It forces a driver to step forward with their talent to manage tires over a run, as well as go fast, but still manage the chassis handling and tire setup on the car. Darlington, fantastic racing over the weekend. As critical as I am of NASCAR, I beat up their playoffs for years. I beat up the stage racing for years. The actual racing at Darlington, 2 thumbs up. I've always been fair with NASCAR. I'll criticize you when I feel you deserve it, but let's give you thumbs up and props when it actually deserves it. And last night, just all 4 races over the weekend. Were there 4? 3. I don't know, whatever there were. I think there were 3 at Darlington over the weekend. I lost track of the doubleheaders and Wednesday night racing, but it was a really good race. What else was a good race in Labor Day weekend? Definitely the Italian Grand Prix. We have seen, well, let's talk about it. NASCAR referenced Darlington, and we see these downforce tracks, and sometimes the racing just isn't all that good. It is what it is. A guy can dominate Darlington, but the racing, the actual side-by-side passing and racing at Darlington is usually good. To Formula One, we've seen the Mercedes all for so many years. Hamilton and Bottas just run away with it. They're 1-2. Sometimes there's no slowdown or whatever. The racing can be good. I've seen some really good races. I've seen some not so good races, like a downforce track. However, this Italian Grand Prix gave you everything you wanted, including Hamilton being defeated for those that kind of sick of seeing him win. I'm not, because I appreciate excellence. However, there are those in the audience that, roll their eyes. They don't even want to watch because Hamilton starts on the pole, leads all the way, wins the race. Gotcha. The Ferraris in Monza, as Sebastian Vettel put it, he was glad there were no fans in the grandstands. It was just a disaster for these guys. They did not have speed or pace all weekend long. Vettel did not make it out of Q1 on Friday. Q1, he didn't even make it to the second round. and Charles Leclerc didn't make it out of Q2. And then this disastrous crash on Sunday, hard crash by Leclerc in a corner at Monza, brought out the red flag for the Italian GP. This is where the entire race changed. Lewis Hamilton hit pit road, but as the field was getting gathered up and regulated, there was a signal that pit road was closed. The light at the end of pit road shines that it's closed when you're already on pit road. It's almost useless. However, there is a system in place where the Mercedes engineers and team gets the signal where pit road is closed. Bottom line, while pit road is closed, Hamilton comes in, Mercedes bolts 4 tires on. However, he is assessed a stop-and-go penalty for changing those tires under what was at that point a red flag in the race. Leclerc's crash was so bad with the debris and the severity of it that they did need to red flag the race and clean up the wreck and repair what they have for a soft wall, tires in front of a grid in one of the corners. And basically, Hamilton lost the race there. He needed a stop-and-go penalty, even though he led on the restart, and this put Pierre Gasly in position to win his first career race. Great racing as well. We all love an underdog and a first-time winner, but there were no Mercedes even on the podium. A red flag can really, really scramble the show, and it was a wonderful race. I don't root against Mercedes. I root for good stories. Pierre Gasly with his first career win. Excellent story. Of note, in a little bit of heartbreaking news coming out of Italy, is as Williams has officially bowed out of Formula One. Not the team, but the family and the name. Frank Williams started the team back in 1977. Darlington Capital has now purchased the team, and the Williams family and board members made the Italian Grand Prix their final race as Williams, the Williams team. The family is stepping down, stepping away, and kind of a piece of history. That history book page in Formula One that was turned after the Italian Grand Prix. Williams just synonymous with Formula One to me. Most of my life that I've been paying attention to racing, Williams has been a part of Formula One, and no more. The team will continue. The Williams name will not. It would be kind of neat if they left the Williams name, but when you purchase a big team for those kind of millions or does it begin with a B, billions? I don't know. Maybe you want to put your own company's name on the front. I understand that. I talked earlier in the show of my venture to Iowa here in a little bit here, but as we do this show on Monday afternoon, Labor Day, it certainly every year brings up memories to me of these fantastic races that we used to see and take place, attend, we're fans of, participated in, and we miss them. They're just not there anymore for various reasons. First off on my list pops to mind the 200 at Stafford. This was always a great Monday afternoon show, 200 laps for NASCAR Modifieds on the half mile at Stafford Springs, Connecticut. Haven't run that race in so many years. It is around no more. Because of COVID-19, the Oswego Classic did not take place this weekend. Still an ongoing show, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, with a Monday rain date. However, the Super Modifieds and the NASCAR Modifieds do a doubleheader there. Terrible is like just they can't have it. They won't have Super Dirt Week at Oswego anymore either. The Syracuse Mile, there's no racing there at all anymore. It's now a parking lot and an amphitheater. But the Fairgrounds Mile used to have the Labor Day State Fair Championship in that winter. Started no worse than seventh for the big race in October there. So bummer not to see the Syracuse Mile. DuQuoin, Illinois had a great weekend. COVID-19 beat that up with ARCA and USAC. USAC, a traditional Sunday Labor Day weekend race, and the ARCA cars Monday afternoon, right now, so to speak, in DuQuoin, Illinois. I love dirt miles. I miss them all. And I wish we were heading to the Thompson 300 this coming weekend. I wish the plans were still being made for that race. Just so many races, they're gone. They were wonderful. And I got to ask about a few of them is why aren't they still happening? I understand the Syracuse mile and the fairgrounds and the state. I don't like it. I think it sucks, but I understand the business aspect, and you don't have the mile anymore and made different use out of that property. Well, why don't we run 200 laps at Stafford on Labor Day Monday? Why not? Why aren't we doing that? I don't know. I like the Stafford folks. Why are we not running 300 laps at Thompson this coming Sunday? I don't know. I like the Thompson folks. Let's get this together. Patrick has spoken. Good news of racing that will happen is we've finally got an announcement from Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. This coming weekend, Indy cars will take place there. We will have a doubleheader. Doesn't leave a whole lot of time for travel and plans if you want to fly across the country. However, IndyCar will have a doubleheader at Mid-Ohio on Saturday and Sunday for this coming weekend. So if you're in the neighborhood there, that's my second promo today, get on over to Mid-Ohio this coming weekend, as well as Port Royal, Pennsylvania this afternoon. Speaking of ARCA, not on the mile, they did run the short track at Lebanon, Missouri, the I-44 Speedway. This series is unfortunately dying a slow death. It's got to do some kind of a U-turn. 14 cars showed up for the series race on Saturday night. COVID-19 has certainly got a big problem with all the racing in 2020, so it may not be an accurate description. But ARCA on the short tracks and super speedways used to have massive car counts, and we're just getting numbers in the teens, barely into the 20s sometimes. I just see NASCAR's track record. And if you missed last week's show, it was August 31st podcast. I spent a bunch of time talking about this. NASCAR just does not have a good track record when it gets control of these short track series. They seem to all wither and die eventually, which is a shame with NASCAR's power and the platform that they have. And if you are in Boone, Iowa this week in the IMCA Super Nationals, please flag me down and say hello. I know this is a big short track event. They'll have hundreds and hundreds of cars in the pits. We're going to race every night for like 8-9 straight nights. I'm on my way there in a little bit. I look forward to meeting you. Please, if you see me in Boone Speedway in Iowa, tap me on the shoulder, flag me down. I would absolutely love to meet you and say hello. What you think about the show? What you think about the world of racing. And before we leave, I'm going to ask for prayers for Rick Eckert's grandson. His grandson, Lennox, was burned severely in Port Royal, Pennsylvania this weekend. There was some kind of incident with a fuel transfer at the racetrack from a drum to the cell, from fuel jugs. I don't know the details or what exactly happened. I do know Lennox, a young man, was burnt pretty badly. He's in the burn unit up there in Pennsylvania. So please keep the family in your thoughts and prayers as we go forward. Tipping our hat to Motor Week Illustrated Dave Despain and awarding our Racer of the Week. I had thought of several different drivers to give it to. Almost making it was Brandon Overton with his late model wins on Friday and Saturday. You know how I love the sweeps. It's hard to win one race, never mind two back-to-back on successive nights. But I couldn't pull myself away from a first-time career winner. I'm going to give our Racer of the Week to Pierre Gasly, winner of the Italian GP in Monza, Italy. Nothing like a first-time winner. I can't, the fight and the struggle he put up to finally get to the top of his game. Nice job, Gasly. I can't imagine the Speedway Report Racer of the Week award wouldn't be just as good as standing on the podium at the Italian Grand Prix. In between our broadcasts, keep up on the world of racing with SpeedwayReport.com. If you missed any of our past shows, we got archives all over the place. Got a road trip coming up? Hit up a podcast, download a few, take them with you, and listen on demand. Connect with us on social media. Where are we? On Facebook at Speedway Report with Patrick Reynolds, or on the Racers Reunion Facebook page. On Twitter, I'm at Speedway Pat and at Speedway Report. Our archives are also listed at our home base, racersreunion.com. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Big thanks to everyone that tuned in on the Facebook live feed this afternoon. Happy Monday matinee to you. I want to thank all of the military past and present for the freedoms we enjoy as Americans in our daily life, including the simple things like bench racing right here and this time on Monday afternoon. Freedom is not free, and a veteran paid that bill for us. To all of the men and women who are defending freedom and watching Speedway Report, you take care of yourselves and come home soon. As always, a special salute to the school teachers, staff, firefighters, police officers, and paramedics in our own communities. They are quiet and modest heroes every single day. God bless and thank you. You have been watching Speedway Report from the shores of Lake Norman in Race City, USA, Mooresville, North Carolina. Please like our Facebook page, Speedway Report with Patrick Reynolds, and follow me on Twitter at Speedway Pat. Now, the drag racing list guys are also taking Labor Day off. John and Bill will return on Facebook 1 week from our live show today on September the 14th. Now, I'll be back live here earlier the same night. We'll wrap up Mid-Ohio's IndyCar doubleheader, NASCAR National Series in Richmond, Virginia. It'll be my first look at the Boone Super Nationals and whatever happened in the world of short track racing. Thank you all for watching. You take care of yourselves and take care of each other. I'll see everybody next week.